Hello peeps and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Nightdagger. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little off. I believe I am coming down with something. So I'm not sure how much talking I'm going to do this episode. But, I kind of need to explain what I'm doing. But I also kind of want to save my voice because this weekend on November 3rd is Extra Life. So, I'm going to... What the hell is up with that? Huh. New textures, yay! Yeah, this weekend, November 3rd, is Extra Life. I'm going to be doing a 25-hour live stream for charity. So, hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. For right now, though, let's get on with this. Alright, so. I built this thing in here. And I really haven't done a whole lot with it. But I did something with it off camera. Let's get on with it. First of all, I updated pretty much all of my mods, which required me to update Forge and a few dependencies, but I did that with one thing in mind, and that was I wanted to try and get my division sigil to work so I could actually read my blood altar. Also, wireless crafting grid. I built that off camera because I didn't want to take the time to do it on camera. It's really easy to make. You just create one of these wireless transmitters, you create the wireless crafting grid, you pop this thing on a cable. It has to be pointing up for whatever reason. You can't attach it on a cable, it's pointing to the side or down. So you have to point it up. And then you put these range upgrades in there, and that gets you up to 48 blocks. Then you take this and you right click on the controller. Not the transmitter, the controller. That actually took me a while to figure out. Now, I have access to this basically anywhere in my base. So, we got this division sigil. And we got my altar up here, and I'll explain what I've done in a second. You right click on this thing, and it still is giving me what's in my personal pool, not what's in the altar. But it did update my tooltips up in the top so that I can see how many points I have, well, how many millibuckets I have, which is essentially how many points I have. And I can also see what tier it is if I'm holding this. Like if I look at it without that, I can't see. If I look at it with that, I can tell it's a tier 1 altar. I've also added an integrated dynamics display panel here with a variable card for the fluid amount in the altar. This gives me a live readout of my blood points. Unfortunately, I can't look at it while I click. But this gives me an easy way to tell how many blood points are in my altar. So right now, we have it capped out at 10 millibuckets, or 10 buckets, which is 10,000 millibuckets, which is 10,000 blood points. I also have spent some time making some blank slates. These things are really easy to make. You take some stone, you throw it in a tier 1 altar. It consumes 1,000 blood points, so a tenth of a bucket of blood. And I wanted a bunch of them, so I just did it off camera. I didn't want to waste time doing that on camera. So, this episode, we're going to devote to blood magic. Now, do I still have that thing here? No. I was reading something on blood magic that said the little inscription that you put on the ground that you use for crafting, you want to do that outside. Like, I got away with doing it inside for my initial ones, but from what I read, you really want to do that outside because it needs to have a view of the sky. So, future things that we do with that matrix will be done outside. Now, for blood magic, there's a bunch of stuff that we need to create. I've got my sacrificial dagger. We could do a dagger of sacrifice. The dagger of sacrifice allows me to murder other things to get blood, not me. Which sounds like fun, but right now I think it's just easier for me to use this. We've got elemental inscription tools, which we'll eventually need to get into. We've got a sentient sword here, which I think I want to create. Because the sentient sword... Also, the sentient axe, shovel, the whole 9 yards, a node router. Item filters? Really? In blood magic? Since when? Scroll of Icarus. That sounds like fun. Go flying through the air. Whatever. Okay, anyway. We want to create the sentient sword. The sentient sword is an iron sword and a Tartaric gem in a Hellforge with some demonic will. Do I not have a Tartaric gem? Or did I leave it in the... I might have left it in the thing. We're gonna need an iron sword. Steak. There we go. Did I leave you in here? Yes. But I'm gonna need another one of you, aren't I? So how did I create that? That's in the Hellfire Forge. Actually I can use a petty gem to make another one, if there's enough will in it. So what is it? It's lapis, gold, lapis, redstone, and glass. Gold, lapis, redstone, and glass. Gold, lapis, redstone, and glass. We'll burn a little bit of my will. And give me another petty Tartaric gem. Awesome. Now, these things I'm going to have to put some will into, I'm pretty sure. We'll put that in there, and we'll put you in there, and you in there. Do I have enough will in this to do this? Yes, I do. Oh, that actually didn't even consume any will. Okay. So, the sentient sword. If I go and murder things with this, they just give me straight up will. Oh, am I... Okay, I'm not crashing out. Good. Okay. Why do zombies have wings? Why do the zombies look like angels? Are they dressed up for Halloween? Did you see that? Aww. Okay. That's cool. Anyway. So, if you look at my petty Tartaric gem, I now have 2.91 will. Because I'm killing mobs using a sentient sword. I also got some steel leggings. We'll throw those on. I really need some actual armor. Okay. You are a zombie villager. I don't really want to kill you. Well, I mean, actually, yeah, I do. You just need to die. Oh. There we go. The idea of this is that we're just trying to collect some will. That's a skeleton. That's why you're not. Ow. Yeah, I guess the zombies are all dressed up for Halloween. Ow. Just die. Just die. That one's got a pumpkin on his head. You guys are supposed to be weeping angels. You're doing it wrong. You're not supposed to move when I'm looking at you. Okay. So that got me a completely useless sword. And it got me about 16 will in this Petty Tartaric gem. The Petty Tartaric gem can be used to make reagents, can be used to make a sentient pickaxe, or it can be combined with a block of redstone. Or actually, that takes a petty, doesn't it? The long and the short of it is, you can upgrade these gems. So, we're going to do that. We're going to create a lesser gem. This is going to take... I can put these snares away. I don't need the snares anymore, because the snares are only used to get your first will. After that, once you've got the Tartaric gem, you really don't need it anymore. Okay, I'm also going to need a block of you. Need a piece of you. I need one of my diamonds, which I don't have very many of them. I need a piece of, or a block of lapis. That should be everything I need. Archaic bricks, huh? I need to figure out how to use ambers, too. Alright, so we'll put the Petty Tartaric gem there. You, and you are going to give me another Petty Tartaric gem. You, and you should give me a lesser. Diamond, lapis block, block of redstone. Oh, minimum 60 will. I gotta have 60 will in this thing before I can do it. I've only got 15. That's why it's not working. Okay. So we'll hold off on that. Let's get going on something that we can do. Which is, we're going to take some of these blank slates and we're going to make blank runes. We will need our weak blood orb, which we have. And we'll need some of these blank slates. We're going to grab 8 of these to start. The reason why I need 8 is because we're going to come up here and we're going to break out all of these marble blocks that I placed. Remember, in this thing, the marble blocks are placeholders for where I need runes. So, doing that has upgraded my altar to tier 2. It still only holds 10,000 life points, but I can now make different types of runes. Some of these runes take higher tier than what I have right now. The runes that I really want to look at making are the runes of augmented capacity, which these require demonic slates, runes. Well, it's actually runes capacity, I guess I would be starting with. These require imbued slates. Those are tier 3, so I can't do those. I can do runes of self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice takes blank runes reinforced slates, which are a tier 1 slate processed through here. So let's go get some of our tier 1 slates. And I actually want to do 8 of these. I'm also going to need to change this filter that I have in here. Because the filter that I have in here is set for the blank slates. Well, that's obviously not going to work, because if I put blank slates in there, it's just going to pull them right out. So, we'll need another filter. Grab you. And for right now, I need to break this transfer pipe. We'll pop our blank slate in there. That's going to start burning up life essence. And when this hits 8,000, we'll get our first imbued or reinforced slate. Because it takes 2,000 life points to do this. And pop. So, in this filter, we're going to put reinforced slates. We'll put our transfer node right there. For right now, we're going to put the reinforced slate in. We'll attach that. And then, here's a nice trick that I found. If you put everything that you want to infuse into a hopper, it'll load all of it into the blood altar, and then the blood altar will start ticking. However, this means that you have to have enough blood in this thing to do all of them. I just put in 7. They take 2,000 each. That's 1,400. I don't have enough blood in this thing to do this right now. So, I need to bleed the hell out of myself while it's running. That's why I have this thing here. If I didn't have this thing here, this process would kill me. Like, many times over. And you can see, we still only have the one in my inventory. No more have been put in here. Still processing. Come on. Okay, how many runes are we going to need for this next step? We need a total of 20. I think we can do that. Actually, you know what? I may as well just do it now. Let's see. Blank runes. Because we need 20 of them. Go ahead and do that. And do that. Where am I? Oh, it's still in there. Aw, damn it. Is it still in here? Yes. Exactly. Good. Had exactly enough. This thing ought to be done pretty soon. We'll know it's done when my blood counter there stops ticking. We'll also see the poof happen, but it's kind of hard to see that poof amongst all of the red poofs. But you can see this is using a ridiculous amount of blood. Oh, there we go. It stopped at 3,400. So let's get that up to 4,000. Just for the sake of argument. You can see that every time I click this thing, I get 2,000 points. Or 200 points. I wish I got 2,000. Let's upgrade this a little bit so that we get more. Why am I even walking back? I don't need to. We're going to make runes of self-sacrifice. Can I do this with a weak blood orb? Or do I need the apprentice? I need the apprentice. Apprentice blood orb is made in a tier 2 altar with 5,000 points and a block of redstone. Hey, I already have a block of redstone on me. Imagine that. I wasn't standing close enough, apparently. There we go. And block of redstone in. We'll tick that up a little bit. And we know there's enough in there to do this. So I don't have to sit here and watch it. We'll go ahead and tick 5 more. Let's take a look at some other blood magic stuff we can do. So, the alchemy table. Demon pylon, demon crucible, incense altar. The incense altar, from what I understand, is a really fun toy. You put it outside and you put a whole bunch of stuff near it, a whole bunch of natural stuff. You go meditate at it for a while, you come in and bleed yourself, and it just massively increases the amount of blood you get. It sounds really fun, but it also sounds like it's kind of a pain in the ass. So probably not something I really want to try at the moment. Air sigil, water sigil, lava sigil, void sigil. Sigil of the Green Grove could be interesting. Sigil of the Blood Lamp. Spooky noise. Sentient equipment. Living equipment. What does a sentient take? Okay, so these doesn't tell you exactly what you need. Probably have to find that in one of the things. Explosive powder. Basic cutting fluid. Potion flask. Demonic aura will gauge. Sure, why not? Let's take a look at the alchemy table. Alchemy table is... Yes, I can do that. So alchemy table is you with an orb. Alchemy table get. And... Oh. Well, that's annoying. Okay. Oh, hey. So, where is the recipes thing? Let's see. I'm assuming I will be a potion flask to start. An alchemy table with a water bottle, nether wart, and a blood orb. Looks like this requires at least the apprentice. There's our Archmage, there's Master. Yeah, this is a tier 2. Speaking of tier 2, there's my blood orb. Haha. Okay. Let's make runes of self-sacrifice. This is chiseled or any type of stone, some glowstone, a reinforced slate, a blank rune, and a blood orb. So, with this, and my apprentice blood orb now, I can get 8 runes of self-sacrifice. Which I'm going to put in here. just to keep things looking nice. Or actually, you know, I don't think this is a good idea, because I remember something about how some of the runes in like the corners here don't work properly. Like, I can't remember if it's the corners or the edges, but some of them don't work properly from what I remember. So I've got 8 of these. I've got 4 sides. So here's how we'll do this. We're going to cut all these down. There's that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just going to do a blank rune, a rune of self-sacrifice, a blank rune, and rune of self-sacrifice. You, 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 and you. And that, if we take a look with our divination sigil, did absolutely nothing. Because this isn't complete. We've got the runes we need, but this also requires a little something more. On top of this pillar, there has to be blocks of glowstone. And I don't know if chiseled glowstone counts. With those in place, if we take a look at the divination sigil, now we have the tier 3. Another thing we have is increased blood. Every time I bleed myself now, I get 360 life points instead of 200. Because of the runes of self-sacrifice. 8 runes of self-sacrifice is an extra 160. Well, we could very easily just increase that, just by putting runes of self-sacrifice all over the place. But I actually want to do something else. I want to go with some runes of capacity. Runes of capacity are blank runes, buckets, and imbued slates. Imbued slates are the tier 3 version of a slate. So, we need to get... I'm going to do 4 of these to start, I think. So we'll need 4 pieces of stone. Doesn't matter runes. So, we'll pop our 4 pieces of stone in there. There we go. And while this is ticking, probably should explain what the runes do, or at least the ones that I remember. The blank runes are your base tier. They're used to get an altar to the next tier, and that's about it. They don't have any special abilities other than, hey, I work in an altar. Speed runes increase the speed at which your altar processes work. So if I put speed runes in here, my blood counter will go down faster. However, there's cost to that, and that each operation burns a little more blood to do it. Efficiency rune, kind of the same idea, except it doesn't burn except it makes the operations take a little less blood. So an operation that would normally cost 1,000 might only take 900. Rune of Sacrifice. Used for when you're sacrificing things other than you. Like, say you have a villager up here, or say you're sacrificing chickens, or witches, or whatever. Runes of Sacrifice get you additional blood for killing them. Runes of Self-Sacrifice, we've seen. The displacement rune, I'm going to come back to. Rune of Capacity and Rune of Augment Capacity do kind of the same thing. They both increase the amount of blood that your altar can hold. Speaking of which, I need to increase the amount of blood that my altar is holding. Oh, it was actually doing the tier 2 infusion too, because I have them setting up pull out. Whoops, that's why it was taking so long. So I just wasted some blood. That's fine. Yeah, these things both increase the amount of blood that the altar holds. The Rune of Augmented Capacity is more powerful than the Rune of Capacity. By default, this thing only has a maximum capacity of 10,000. Some operations take far, far more than that. So your choices are to either sit here and bleed yourself constantly like I am, or to use Runes of Augmented Capacity to get more blood in there at once. Rune of the Orb. I honestly don't remember what that does. Acceleration Rune is the next tier of Speed Rune. What does the Rune of the Orb do? Shimmer, Curse of Vanishing. I don't remember what it does. I'll have to look it up. And the Charging Rune. I actually don't know what the Charging Rune does. Maybe allows you to fill your blood orb faster? I don't know. I don't know. Wait, don't I have a blood magic book? Didn't I create the blood magic book? That's actually additions. Inspectress Scandalum. That's creepy looking. That's integrated dynamics. Sanguine Sanctum. I think that's my blood magic book. Okay, here we go. Speed Rune. Water Sigil. Planet's Blood Orb. Rune of Sacrifice, Rune of Self-Sacrifice. Rune of Capacity. Displacement Rune, which I haven't talked about yet. Rune of the Orb. Here we go. Initially, this rune can be seen as somewhat useless. By thickening the ties between the Blood Orb and the Altar and the Soul Network, the Rune of the Orb increases the maximum capacity of a Blood Orb by 2% per rune. Okay. So, the Rune of the Orb increases the capacity of your Blood Orb. Like, my Tier 1 Blood Orb, I think, has a maximum capacity of 1,000 LP. Or 10,000 LP. That would increase it by 2% per rune. Now, let's look at the Charging Rune while I'm at it. Charging Rune. One of those beauties that will completely change the operation of the Blood Altar to something more useful. By siphoning off the LP of the Blood Altar slowly, the Charging Rune begins storing charge, an internal value of the Blood Altar that can still be seen using the Sigil of Sight. If a Blood Altar has enough charge when it gets into craft, it will use the required charge immediately and craft it instantaneously. Oh. Nice. So basically, it allows you to pre-craft stuff. That's awesome. I like that. Okay. We've got reinforced slates. We're going to need another filter. Because... Whoops. Totally didn't mean to do that. We're going to need to take these up to tier 3. This is going to be a whopping 5,000 points per rune. So I'm just going to do one for now. Then once that one's done, I will grab that out of there and I'll show you guys what the Rune of Capacity does. Oh, it looks like it's done. Yes, imbued slate. Okay, so the Rune of Capacity requires a few buckets, a blank rune, chiseled stone. So let's break out one of these blank runes. Turn you into a Rune of Capacity. And we'll pop you there. Sure, why not? Now, if I were to fill the blood orb, or if I were to fill this thing, remember, the original capacity was 10,000. Now it's 12,000. So, one of these runes increased the capacity by 2,000. We can keep doing this. As a matter of fact, that is something I am going to keep doing. Because I really want to have a large capacity for this thing. We'll go ahead and get that started. Notice that these are burning my blood faster. Higher tier crafting operations actually burn it faster. So you don't have to wait as long. For right now, I'm just going to do 4. Might actually do some runes of speed too. Speed runes are, yeah, they're just blank slates with blank runes. Can I start to read this thing yet? Wait. The next tier of blood altar is missing a blood rune. Huh. I see. So this tells me how to build. Nice. So, I'm curious. Let's go ahead and do... I'm going to need some more buckets, I think. How many buckets do I have? Yeah, we're gonna craft some more buckets. Like a bunch of them. And we're going to craft 3 more rinse capacity. We're going to get a piece of glowstone. Now, if I were to put down these rinse capacity, but break out this piece of glowstone, this thing is now tier 2, as we can see from this. If I click this, the next tier of blood altar is missing a block of glowstone. Nice. And that's my tier 3. So next tier of blood altar is missing a blood rune. Awesome. So now I know that I need to put a bunch of blood runes here. I also know I'm going to need to start getting bloodstone. These things are from blood shards, which require us to have a special weapon. That is something that we're probably going to have to get to in another episode, because this one is about done. What if it's seeping 20 points away? You guys see that? It's just seeping tiny little bits of it away. 55, 60. 7,000. Huh. It's not doing it now. I should be able to take this all the way up to 1,800 now. Or 18,000. There we go. 18,000. Nice. That is actually a fairly large capacity. But you guys get the idea. So, this is where I'm going to call blood magic for right now. What I am probably going to do is just keep creating more of these slates and get the blood runes ready for the next tier. We'll come back and revisit this in a few episodes once we get ready to do a little bit more in-depth stuff. But the next episode, we're actually going to delve into another magic that I briefly touched on and then left, and that's Thaumcraft. I haven't played with the new Thaumcraft yet, like at all. So, we need to check that out. Seems like something fun to do next episode, which will probably be in a couple of days. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Nightdagger with, I don't even know, 20-something, I think? I hope. Episode 20-something of Mod of Minecraft Nightdagger. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. I'll catch you later, peeps.